Do you feel like a reset master? I'm looking in the background. I'm like, no, I really, at resets, I really do. And honestly, most amateurs do too. I think you do. Maybe you don't. But again, I think you lose some points in tournaments on resets. This tip is going to blow your mind, and this is what you don't want to do when you're resetting, right? Your partner gets mad, everyone gets upset, everyone's going to leave you. One of the top-ranked pickleball players, Collin, says most amateurs don't reset very well. They're risky, higher risk, and most amateurs lose a lot of points on it. They really do. This is an incredible reset tip by Collin. When I read this, I'm like, I have to look at film and see if he's correct. This is the tip. He says reset lower and deeper opposed to higher and shorter or shallower in the court because you miss more balls when you try to be too precise. If you try to be too precise, too cute on your resets, you're going to miss more. That's right, Twinkle Toes. No one calls me Twinkle Toes. Collin is saying resetting lower, like this in this example, super slow motion, opposed to trying to go higher and making it perfect. Perfection is the enemy of progress, after all. This is the exact shot Collin is talking about. There's different iterations of it throughout the video, but this is it. Gabin on the top right-hand corner hits a beautiful reset low. May go deeper in the court, right? But it's effective and it wins the point. Here it is one more time. This concept is extremely important and the video will build on it. So keep this in mind. Joey, keep going. I think we're doing well. Why does Collin say to reset lower and deeper in the court opposed to shallow and high? Because less can go wrong. Take a look at the first reset. Decent, right? Second one's a little higher, kind of get into trouble. Another way to explain it is it's almost like a half drive at 60% instead of a super high reset. Now on the pro level, they do reset higher and shallower in the court, but keep in mind, pros have amazing rolls. Backhand and forehand rolls are deadly. They're really deadly. And think about this. Should an amateur player reach and hit a reset from waist or knee level, or should they let it bounce and hit more of a line drive? Because they can win more points by hitting a low line drive, according to Collin. Collin is in the top right-hand corner in the blue shirt. Look at those professional resets. Beautiful, right? But that's not exactly what he's saying to do. He's saying this is a perfect reset. He practices, what? 3-4 hours a day. Amateur players are not going to get to do this. So this is why he's saying, don't try to hit this perfect reset every single time. Don't do it. When he's going around tournaments, watching amateur matches, he's saying that losing more points when you do this opposed to doing this. And take a look. It's lower and deeper, right? It doesn't have to land exactly in the kitchen. I know that one does. But look at these speed ups and look how that's speeding it up, not trying to hit this perfect reset every single time. I think this whole point is a really good example. Take a look at it, right? Low and deeper. The main reason Collin is saying to reset lower and deeper is because amateur players don't have that crazy good forehand and backhand roll to really punish you, right? So that's why he says to do it. Pros do. Hit more resets as conservative line drive rather than trying to hit a perfect reset high and shallow in the kitchen because you miss more of those. And you'll hit less floaters, right? They won't kill you or your partner, and your partner won't be mad at you. And the point will continue more often than not. It really would. It will. What's an example of a perfect reset? Not that, right? But he's trying to hit a perfect reset. Take a look. He's trying to hit a perfect reset. The first one's decent, right? And then the man in the top right-hand corner tries to hit it too high and shallow in the court like a pro, and he's not. Let's face it, if we're not pros, we're not drilling several hours a day. We're not going to be perfect, so why try to be perfect in a tournament, right? And like Collin said before, most amateur players aren't going to have the crazy forehand and backhand rolls with that crazy spin like Cliff Pickleball, right? Hey, Cliff. Cliff Pickleball, #1 station in Orlando, and he has a beautiful backhand roll to really punish people, and most people don't have this. This wasn't a bad drop or reset, whatever you want to call it, but Cliff has that beautiful backhand flick or roll to really punish people. Heather gets in trouble. She tries to hit the reset a little too high, and now it's more defense, right? But here it is one more time. Most people, most amateur players don't have that shot. Collin is saying, look, you don't have to be perfect. Twinkle Toes.
As their number called.
And look, this is Collin John's blue shirt again. He's trying to be perfect with that reset. And look, he makes a mistake. Just like my mama always said, everyone poops. So it's probably a good idea to optimize your game against other amateurs because you'll probably be playing them in a tournament. I'm just guessing, unless you're a pro. Because look at David now. He's a 5-0, but he doesn't have those crazy topspin attacks from below the net. He doesn't. David, you don't. So what do? We just keep the ball a little lower so it won't go high, so they don't put it away all the time because we're not going to be perfect. David now is one thing, but he's not perfect. That's not the thing he is. And he doesn't have an amazing roll like professionals, so no need to hit a beautiful reset. And that's my point. Actually, it's Collin John's point, really, not mine. Keeping the ball low by half drive is recommended by Collin John. He does not recommend to really pop it up and get hit because you're not going to be perfect or you might hit in the net. And who cares if these half drive resets won't land perfectly in the kitchen? Because let's face it, your opponents are not going to put it away because they're not pros. So keep that in mind. Take a look at some points and some resets and drops. And look, Mark makes an easy miss on that, right? Here's another point. Mark, who's in the white shirt, tries to be too cute. This is what Collin Johns is saying, people. Here's another one. Scott, not trying to be perfect. More low line drive resets opposed to those high resets. Here's another one. Edward Perez. That's just a beautiful reset from a beautiful man. It's safer. It really is. The point's going to go on longer. You'll have a higher percentage to win these points because you're not trying to hit perfect resets like your opponents. Your opponents are probably going to miss. They're probably going to miss. I swear they're probably going to miss. Maybe take a look at this point because they might miss. And take a look. Those high resets, you don't see any of them, right? They stay in the point and Mark misses. He's in the blue shirt. He's not wearing his red shirt. I don't know what happened. Maybe his wash broke. Nice low reset by Alexandra. And here's a beautiful example of a lower reset / drop, but they're getting into the point. They're not giving their opponents a chance to crush them, and they get a body shot. And who is that girl? Danae, another one. She's just pretty incredible. And she's not hitting those higher resets. She keeps it pretty low, 60% reset, and they win that point as well. And those half drives will allow you to get to the kitchen line. So it does its trick. You might have to hit a couple more of them because you're not hitting those high resets that give you more time to get to the kitchen. And let me ask you one more question. Have you seen this video by Collin Johnson? It's so much better than this tip I just did. And don't forget to have a good day.